The seagulls were walking in some areas today. That means it's foggy. And in other areas, it was a bit sunny. We'll talk about what the fog will do over the weekend after this. This forecast is sponsored by Atlantic Edge Credit Union. Visit aecu.ca or drop by one of their 16 branches across the province to experience banking that feels like home. Early Friday afternoon, the view in Holyrood was foggy, although not as foggy as parts of the St. John's Metro, mainly the East End, where it's been quite dense throughout the day. Same thing in the parts of Victoria Bay and likely up towards Pooch Cove and Flat Rock. In Gander, not too bad this afternoon, just before 1:30, but as we look down the Bay d'Espoir Highway, hey, look at that. We are seeing some sunny breaks. Same thing on the west and southwest coast. There's a view there from Black Duck Siding, a mix of sun and cloud. And the satellite picture does confirm the sunny breaks over the Bay St. George area, but as you go up the coast, we are seeing a lot of cloud cover, although it's not terribly foggy. It is more foggy as you look toward areas of central, northeastern Newfoundland, eastern areas near the shorelines, where a very damp and moist onshore flow is driving that fog and the low-level cloud cover in place along with the drizzle. At the same time, we are seeing some rain for parts of eastern and southeastern Labrador. That will work back to the west as we go into the evening. Visibility is reduced in town as of 1:30, just over half a kilometer. In Gander, 1.21 kilometers, and most other areas are seeing visibility substantially higher than that. A lot of moisture in the air, but we see that brown spot. Good word for it, Eddie. East and northeast of Newfoundland, that may give us a reprieve in the fog for a few hours this evening and in the overnight before it looks like we get foggy again as we go into the day on Saturday. We're seeing a very kind of damp circulation over the North Atlantic as traffic is backed up thanks to a couple of offshore lows and a big area of high pressure over Western Europe. Here's your Viz forecast for the Northeast Avalon. It should come up as we go into the overnight and especially tomorrow. Not saying it's going to be sunny, but it shouldn't be as drizzly and cloudy as it is today. But it looks like the fog comes back in tomorrow night and then alleviates again during the second half of the day on Sunday. Fog Tracker will show this rather well. Once you're away from the east and northeast shorelines as we go through Saturday, and that's at the entirety of the province, you will see a decrease in the cloud cover and a decrease in the fog. The question is, are we going to see any rain? And not really. The reason being this area of low pressure, which is large and very potent, remains just far enough offshore that it keeps most of the rain with it. That high builds in, that brings some drying air for Sunday and Monday, and a change in the weather pattern and a much more decent pattern as the early part of next week rolls along. That being said, we are going to see some rain pushing from east to west in Labrador overnight, and as we go throughout the day Saturday, more areas of showers and drizzle across eastern and northeastern Newfoundland, including on the Avalon, and same thing for coastal areas of Labrador. We will begin to see some sunny breaks later in the day on Sunday in Lab West, and becoming a little more widespread later in the day Sunday over the island, and more so as we get into Monday. Rainfall totals, not impressive. Unfortunately, a couple mils here or there. We could use substantially more than that. Much of the province is in a drought, and the drought severity varies from place to place, but it's most severe on the island portion of the province. So across the province, overnight lows of 2 to 7. It stays drizzly and cloudy along the east and northeast shores for the day tomorrow. Highs of 9 to 13 across most of Newfoundland, 6 or 7 in most of Labrador. Again, I said this earlier in the week. As Steven Tyler would say, same old song and dance. Sunday starts to look a little better, but the weather really improves as we get into the early part of next week, where it does begin to dry out, although for eastern and northeastern areas, you might not see a whole lot of improvement, but we should see a lot less in the way of fog. In Labrador, it warms up substantially as we go into Monday and Tuesday of next week. If you're looking for the forecast beyond Monday or Tuesday, be sure to get the Sheerr Weather App in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Use the QR code there on your screen to find it, or visit sheerweather.ca, or simply search Sheerr Weather, SHEERR, in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. Have a very good Friday evening, and I'll have some updates for you over the weekend, and next week I'll have updates, but I will not be in Newfoundland and Labrador, so be sure to check back to see where I am. It'll be a little warmer than it is here, but I'll still have your forecast. Have a very good Friday evening. Have a great weekend.